Welcome to another episode of eThekwini Matters. My name is Zimbili Mazibuko, your host. As the world moves towards unprecedented levels of urbanization, cities like eThekwini find themselves at the forefront of change. The engineering unit is one of the most critical units within eThekwini municipality. To tell us more about the unit's plans is acting head of engineering unit, Mr. Thanda Zulu. Ndaba ezitha sikubingelele sikwamukele namhlanje on eThekwini Matters.
Zimbili, thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you in studio today. Please tell us about your units, your department's units and their responsibilities.
Okay, thank you. I run an engineering unit which falls under the cluster. Lawrence Pardo, who is the acting head of acting DCM within our cluster. We look at roads, stormwater, architectural services, survey and land information, as well as development engineering. We are more of a built environment sphere, if I can call it like that, and we possess a highly technical, highly skilled technical team within our unit, and I pride myself with the fact that we have internal design capacity. So all these things that you see, we design them from within the unit, which I think is something that is unique as opposed to other units and departments. Thank you.
Many places in eThekwini were affected by the floods in 2022. How far is your unit in terms of repairing the infrastructure that was damaged?
Indeed, we have moved far. I think at the moment we are about 80% complete, and we aim to complete these projects by the end of June 2024. Well, of course, with an exception of the long-term projects like the bridges. There are big bridges that we are building, which will complete by next year, March. But basically, the other roads related issues we will be completing by the end of June. And I think we have about more than 200 contractors on the ground at the moment that are dealing with this. So that's why we are quite positive that come end of June we should be finished. But the other thing that I want to highlight is that there is a concept of building back better, because what we want is that come next time of these floods, we need to provide an infrastructure that will be able to cope with the current climate change impacts that we are having. Although we cannot say we can design for 1 in 200 year floods, but we are trying to improve from the previous designs that we had, so that we can try to accommodate for the recent floods that we are facing.
And what are some of the challenges that your unit has been encountering?
The main challenge is that I think we have seen that as a city of eThekwini, we are like a construction site at the moment. It's not only eThekwini that is busy in the area. Also Sanral, you can see the N2, N3 upgrades, and many other construction activities happening. And we all go to the same suppliers for material. I think the main challenge that we are facing these days that are delaying our projects is the shortage of material, because from the supplier's point of view, I think they are running short of the supply. The second part would be the work stoppages, which are mostly caused by these people that are demanding work. I think we are aware of construction mafia and all those things. But I'm sure, I think at this point in time, we are able to deal with them, because there is no real project that have come to a standstill due to that. But they come now and again, and we try to manage that situation. But I think those are the two risks that I can put to say they are more of a hindrance in terms of our progress at this point in time.
Makeba, let's look at the successes now, your unit's successes in rehabilitating the infrastructure.
Yeah, I think we have had successes. I think out of the 1.2 billion of the budget that we're having, I think 13% of that is completed projects already. And there are a number of projects that we have completed in Thanda area, Kwamashu, some of them in Umlazi. There is a BEM that we have just concluded in Umlazi. And also in Ward 100, there are some projects that we are busy with. So for me, I see that as a huge success in terms of building back better and in terms of ensuring that the lives of the people go back to normality in terms of the infrastructure development. Because you will recall that there are a number of roads that were cut into two, that access was totally blocked from the residents. And now I can safely say in a number of areas, people have access now. People are able to move from one road to the other. So due to what we are doing right now. So I'm sure come end of June, most of those would have been completed. And as I've said, there are those that we will move to next year. So and those are big bridges, as I've said. There's a big bridge we're doing in Echenyama. It's a huge bridge there with big culverts. There is also Kudmore Bridge here next to Yellowwood Park. There is also Hazlet Bridge in Phoenix. There is a project we are doing there. Shallcross, there is something called the Blunder Road culvert there also that we are building. It's quite a number of them. And I think for me, those are flagship projects. You will see, I think, with the designs that we have produced. And I do want to emphasize that those designs have been done internally, no consultant, nothing. And when you go to these award ceremonies, we compete with consultants there. So we pride ourselves, especially as engineering unit, that we have that kind of high technical skilled people who even the private sector, in fact, they want to steal them, and we are finding a way of trying to really retain them as far as possible. So I'm sure with the current capacity, I think we should be able really to make this city shine in terms of the service delivery. Yeah, thank you.
Makeba, lastly, last year you hosted the Way Leaves and Excavation in Daba, which aimed to sensitize our relevant stakeholders and to adhere to municipal bylaws when executing roadworks. Are you winning the battle?
I would say we are. You know, at some stage last year or a year before last, you could see that the city was in a chaotic situation. It was a chaos. I mean, left, right, and center, when you go, you will find open excavations, not even barricaded, nothing. If you try to follow up in terms of that, there is not even an approval for that. So I think as part of that, what we did, we said, let's bring in control around this. Let's bring in control and order. What we did, we established an office called an excavation office, which is fully fledged, currently running, where these applications for excavations are submitted for reviews and approvals. And once it's approved, the city will then log that information in terms of locations so that we know exactly who is doing what at what time. The plan in terms of when that excavation will start, when it will end. And as part of that also, we have put together bylaws, because one of the things that we thought was lacking a lot is in terms of the bylaw itself, in terms of what procedures needs to be followed, as well as what becomes the consequences of non-compliance. So I think that is at a promulgation stage now, the bylaws, and we hope to implement it as soon as possible to try and control. And you could see also, even physically, those uncontrolled excavations, they've really subsided, and you can pick it up here and there. But basically, that's why I do want to say that the consultative process that we did in terms of the indaba that we had, it helped a lot, because we brought in all the relevant stakeholders so that they can participate on how we better control this thing. Because it was a nightmare for everybody, even for the community members. It was a nightmare because you just find it was a risk, it was a safety risk as well. So that's why we then had to engage community. How do we better manage this? and they put forward good advices and so on and so forth. And we then came up with developing an office, developing bylaws, developing all those relevant regulatory framework. And at this point in time, I think it's running okay, and it is now controlled. Thank you.
Would you like to add anything else, Ndabezitha, before we wrap up?
You know, what I would want to add as part of the technical capacity that we had, we had a breach in Emansomini area, which was eliminated as part of the Institute of Municipal Engineering of South Africa, as well as the SAICI, and that breach of ours won the award there. So I think we pride ourselves because, as I've said earlier, the competition was not only between local government or between municipalities, but it was a competition that was including the private sector, the big consulting firms and all that. But we were able to win those awards. Our Department of Host Provision, as well as Coastal Stormwater and Catchment Management, they have designed those, and really we pride ourselves with that. If there is something that is a strength in this municipality, is that internal capacity. And how we build it, we build it through securing students from universities, take them through the university levels, take them through professionalization process. As part of the unit, we also have a mentorship program where we have mentors who mentors these guys until they become professional. And once they become professional, we absorb them within the system of the city. So that's how we have built that capacity. That's why we pride ourselves so much. And now that they are winning awards on behalf of the city, it's even a cherry on top, and it's something that the city needs to walk tall about and be able to be proud of, because it's a product that has been developed within the city itself as part of the EMA and skills development process.
Ndabezitha, sibonga kakhulu for your time namhlanje on eThekwini Matters.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having us. And we are always available to come and give information that the people of eThekwini are looking for. Thank you so much.
That was Thanda Zulu, acting head of the engineering unit in eThekwini municipality. My name is Zimbili Mazibuko. From myself and the entire team, it's goodbye till next time. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe.